super thin skin, held up longer than I was falling.
Welcome to Center Stage, the documentary podcast. Each week, our group of intrepid researchers and music archivists dig through the record crates of the world, looking for that one artist to take center stage. Using a patent-pending algorithm and spirited debate, we pick one artist. Once that is settled, we invite that artist into Thunderlove Studio to chat with your hosts Keith R. Higgins and Jeff Calhoun. When we're lucky, they say yes. Our mission with Center Stage is simple: to make sure the recorded work of artists remains, or in some cases lands on, the cultural radar. We invite you to sit back and relax. Thank you for joining us.
After 70 years, that what he goes there for is to unlock the door, while those around him criticize and sleep. He threw a fractal on a breaking wall. I see you, my friend, and touch your face again. Miracles will happen as we tread. Ooh, but we're never gonna survive unless we get a little crazy. No, we're never gonna survive unless we are a little crazy. The yellow people walking through my head. One of them's got a gun to shoot the other one. Yet together they were.
And we're off.
And running.
This week.
Before we talk about this week, did you see the Dave Paulson? I'm going to reference a previous episode. Dave Paulson put together a band and performed his Tommy Boy album at Tommy Boy Fest in Sandusky, Ohio a couple weeks ago. And it just makes that entire episode so magical and shiny, and I loved it. The few clips I got to see, I was like, oh my God, this is the greatest.
That's awesome. I knew he was going to do it. I didn't get a chance to see any clips yet.
Oh, fantastic. What an album.
And speaking of fantastic
and what an album, we have had guests on our show in the past that we have talked about being valuable trade chips if you want connectivity. If you want to say, I want to get from one genre to another via a common point. How we go from Louisiana nu metal to Seal is a wild story.
Indeed.
A wild story. There's some emotional parts of the story, right? There's overcoming cancer, spoiler alert. There's fantastic musicianship.
Incredible
musicianship. And a lot of stages shared with wonderful, like I said, Seal. Just listen to the episode. I'm not going to spoil it all. Just listen to the episode.
Yeah, we've given enough up.
Yeah, we don't want to bury the lead.
So this is a band called, it sounds like Robot, but it's dō-zaht.
I'll get it right eventually.
Heather and Matt are a husband and wife duo based in Los Angeles, and it was such a delight speaking with them about their incredible career.
True.
As Jeff said, sharing a stage with the who's who, really, of modern music.
Yeah, such variety, such talent.
Yes, and we cover the gambit. You use that word in the episode as well, gambit.
Gambit? Do I must be thinking a lot about the X-Men or something.
I don't know, but we cover the gambit of their career, which is awesome.
Cool.
Here's our conversation with Heather and Matt.
Need assistance with the name? Dauzat St.
No, I was going to try myself.
Oh.
Dauzat St.
Dauzat.
Dauzat.
Robot.
Just like robot.
Okay.
French.
Dauzat St.
Yep.
And it's Matt Dauzat and Heather St.
That's right.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Done it.
I'm Keith Higgins, and that is Jeff Calhoun, my lovely co-host.
Hey,
All right.
guys.
Oh, you called me lovely.
Welcome. Thanks for taking the time out to do this with us.
Of course.
I have questions.
Jeff
Yes.
has
All
questions, but before we get into Jeff's deep questions, Jeff, the professor, I want to find out how you guys came to be, because you're connected personally and professionally.
Yes.
So how did it all start for you guys?
Let me give you the abridged version, the Cliff Notes. I graduated high school in South Louisiana, like 20 minutes from the Gulf of Mexico, almost as far down as you can go, and decided I wanted to go where I didn't know anybody, because everyone knows everybody on the bayou, and decided on North Louisiana. And I went up there, and then I realized I don't know anybody. So I heard this guy in high school was putting a band together, and I auditioned and, blew him away with how loud I am because I'm Cajun. So we started a rock band and started touring as teenagers together, and kind of have been just doing this ever since.
All right. That
Yeah.
sounds good.
Did we go sideways on you?
Yeah, I
You
know.
did go sideways.
I know. I don't know what's up with this.
What is happening?
We don't have the
Yeah.
app. We're doing it in a browser on the iPad.
Your hats did not fall off. So
No. There it is.
Sweet.
Now
Okay.
we'll see.
That was weird. All right.
Now I'll release
This
the
whole
hound.
interview went sideways already.
Oh, literally.
We
already
just got started. This whole thing
that
went
was
sideways.
quick.
And now I'll
Matt-
release the hounds.
Right.
I'm gonna piggyback a little bit off of Keith's question, which is, are you romantic partners as well as musical partners?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yes, we're married.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
Yeah.
that's lovely. I think you can tell in the music, but I wanted to be very clear in case that was, on the down low.
We wouldn't hide that very well, I'm thinking.
Right.
We've gone
Usually
sideways.
difficult to hide. Yeah.
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 Let's talk Louisiana,
Okay.
because I think a lot of times with Cajun music, and not to say that you are Cajun music,
Right.
but by golly, the Cajun music has a particular sound, and it's a dead giveaway. I don't know that I hear Cajun, but I think I occasionally see Cajun. Like when I and I'm going to reference my notes. The video for Common Ground was like kind of voodoo, kind of spooky, like some New Orleans elements maybe. So
Yeah.
visually, sometimes I get Louisiana, but in the ears, not so much. So talk about where you're from and how it influences the sound of Dauzat St.
Excellent eye. Yeah. So we actually met in art school. We met right before, but anyway.
Yeah.
So
He followed me to art school up there.
yeah. So we that's our background is art, and so for Common Ground, we were trying to create this. The first idea was we wanted to do like a nod to the good old like 90s era MTV music videos. So that was first and foremost, but then the song is really about like the division that we started seeing growing on social media long before the pandemic. And so that's what the song was about, is the division. So we wanted to create like what we call the light world and the dark world and the struggle between. And that's where you saw like these entities were like kind of pulling us on this cart that I made myself. By the way,
Yeah.
we did a lot of the set design with some help from a friend that does that. And but yeah, so it's a good eye. You kind of call it like, I mean, that's obviously some of our background, right?
Right.
So there might be a little voodoo sort of elements in there. It's fun.
So,
But yeah, you don't hear a lot. I mean, in our music, you'll hear Southern elements. I would say.
yes.
And
Yeah.
you hear that. And that's just by nature. It's just where we came up. And that's just kind of what's in our souls. And even in the rock thing, we still were kind of a bit of a Southern thing.
It's hard watching the whole world drown. Friends and foes in the landslide, taking the long road down. And for what? A crown that turns into rust. No winners here in this race of time, no victors in the dust. And the quiet
The best quote I saw on your website was from Bob Leggett from Nexus.com. If Heart's Ann Wilson and Journey's Steve Perry had a love child that grew up playing with the Van Zandt brothers.
Right? I love
Isn't
it.
that great?
Yeah, without saying it, it says it.
It's
Yeah.
accurate.
Yeah.
Very much so.
I would be Nancy Wilson. by the way.
Exactly.
That's a bold claim, friend.
Because she's definitely the Ann. I can't do the Ann. I'll be the Nancy. I sing all the
He
high
sings
harmonies.
all the high harmonies.
By the way, like
right.
anytime you hear like these high harmonies above her, that's me.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm definitely Nancy. And we went sideways again. I don't know what's happening. That's killing me.
Well, we weren't cool enough to get the app. We did the browser, so that's why.
That's so funny.
Oh.
And Nancy is the shredder of the two, right?
That's right.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the guitar.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's talk about the guitar, Mr. Shredder Man.
Let's do it.
Guitar tone. Let's also take it all the way back to Hydrovibe.
Okay.
There's a pretty big difference between the guitar tones in Hydrovibe and your current music.
Yes.
You might say it's a tectonic shift.
You might.
How do you pivot that hard? What kind of a thought process? Because obviously the two of you are both in Hydrovibe, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
That's our start. Like we started the band.
Yeah.
Well, so before Hydrovibe, we were trying to find like-minded musicians. It's kind of a small town where I'm from. And so while we were doing that, Heather and I just started doing acoustic duo shows around town, just playing like wherever, coffee shops, wherever we could, just to kind of figure out what we even sounded like. And so we wrote a bunch of songs that way, and that we translated a lot of those songs to Hydrovibe. And all we really had to do was have heavier, distorted, modern sounding guitars. And the song is the song. That's how we still write today, is on acoustic guitar. I don't think we never really write on electric guitar. Like any of those riffs, 9 times out of 10, they came from acoustic guitar, and I just translated that over. So translating back from Hydrovibe to dō-zaht St. was pretty easy because that's where we started anyway. So it's kind of come full circle.
I think I know which 1 out of 10 we're not. There's like some gent moments and some like pinch harmonics. It's very middle.
Well, yeah. So growing up, like Zakk Wylde was like one of my heroes, and so obviously, that was the whole reason I started playing electric guitars, just so I could pinch harmonic at every turn, just like add them where they don't really even belong. I don't care. We're going, squeak all the time.
Well, if you're gonna invoke Zakk Wylde, let's talk about the Osbourne connection.
Sure.
Obviously, we just lost Ozzy.
Yep.
you had the very cool opportunity to play with Kelly and her band.
Yep.
How'd that happen?
Well, so Hydrovibe, we were just kids. I was still living at home, so no overhead. So we would just go to Hollywood to play shows at the Troubadour, the Whiskey, like all the time. We were doing it maybe once a quarter, and just kind of growing the audience there. And we started picking up a good network of people. At some point, at one of the shows, the guys from Limp Bizkit came out to one of our shows at the Whiskey. And shortly after that, that's when Wes left the band. And so they had just seen Hydrovibe. And I had short, black, spiky hair with a goatee, playing Paul Reed Smith guitars, jumping all over the stage. And so when Wes took off and did his thing, I kind of fit that part. And so the band had, there was a guy out here that put together like all the bands. Like a lot of people, they have their favorite band, they think it happened organically. A lot of times it was put together out here. And there's like one guy that was doing it. There were two guys that was doing it, but one guy that was like really putting all together, the big ones. And so Limp Bizkit had him find guitarists, and he found me, still living at home in Louisiana. And they flew me out to audition, and it wasn't, I wasn't really like into it, 'cause I was like still a young kid. I was like, I have a band. I'm not, I'm not a traitor, so I wasn't really into it. But Heather and my dad were just like, you gotta go. It's an opportunity.
Yeah.
It's like, screw it. It's a free trip to Hollywood. Let's go. And did that. But anyway, so, but the guy that puts the bands together, he didn't quite understand that LA, Los Angeles, and LA, Louisiana, he didn't put that together. And so then he was calling me like literally, I don't know, every other week, with crazy, like, Macy Gray, like big pop stars. Like, hey, I've got, 9 Inch Nails. Can you come out and pick up a CD? It's SIR, which is like it's like the rehearsal room out here in Hollywood. So can you pick up a CD on Wednesday and audition on Friday? And then I would just call him back. It's like, dude, I can't, I can't just like hop a plane, broke ass kid here, so I couldn't do any of those auditions. But then, fast forward to, when we decided to just pick up and relocate completely to Hollywood, we moved here on a Friday, and I called him on Sunday. I was like, dude, I am here. Whatever you got, I'll do it. And he's like, oh, cool. I got, Kelly Osbourne on Wednesday. Come by SR on Monday and pick up a CD and audition on Wednesday. I was like, great. That's fine. And I really didn't give a lot of thought to it. I didn't think that like I would be the guy for that per se. But I went down, and it was also during the whole heyday of the Osbournes. So, I've never auditioned for anything in my entire life. I had no idea what to expect. I go down there, I'm just nervous wreck. And then you go in, you got to sign waivers, and it's MTV cameras in your face. Like it was nerve wracking. But anyway, I did the audition and nailed it, and kind of knew it immediately. And Sharon was just like, that's your guy. And so by Thursday, I was already like, I was in Kelly's band. I was already like on the Osbournes gig, and the first show I played out there was Jay Leno, and we flew to London that night, and then I was off doing massive stuff with Robbie Williams for 3 months overseas. And
wow,
it's kind of like an overnight success. It took to get there,
For folks who follow your social media accounts, I mean, obviously, you guys have referenced, the both of you have referenced being a part of the Osbourne family, and that grew to an extended relationship that had a tremendous impact on you. Massive loss with Ozman.
Well, they're a tight family, and they're a tight circle. They keep a tight circle, and so they treated us like family from day one. Everything was a family affair. When we traveled with Kelly, a lot of times it was Ozzy sharing traveling with us. And so, yeah, we spent a lot of time with him, and we keep in touch. I mean, we were just with him very recently. We were not able to go to that last show in Birmingham. We were on tour, and it wasn't going to work out for us. But we were with them right before that. And I think right before the Hall of Fame, we were with the family. They were doing the auditions here for that. And yeah, they've been very, very good to us, and we love them dearly. And that was a tough thing. You know, for us, we found out on a big show day for us. We found out, like, we were checking out of a hotel, going to sound check, and found out, and it's just like, you know, how the hell are we gonna play a show? Like, like, you know, we're just like barely holding it together, and it's just like, you know, kind of the voice in the back of your head is always Ozzy, and he's like, I just can imagine, like, the words that he would have had for us even considering how can we do the show. That's ridiculous. Of course you're going to do the show because that's what you do. And we pulled it off, and it was a fantastic show. And we did a little tribute to Ozzy and somehow held it together for that. And the crowd did not. They were crying their eyes out. So it was a beautiful moment. But yeah, a huge loss for us. That's been a relationship of 23 years for us.
Wow.
Yeah. Wild.
Now, Heather, if I read correctly, Ozzy bestowed some knowledge on you.
Yeah. I used to get so nervous before shows. And, you know, I came from the mindset of like, well, maybe I'm not cut out for this, you know. And we were hanging out in their kitchen and waiting for Kelly, and Ozzy comes in, and he's probably doodling, you know, in the kitchen or whatever. And I don't know what made me ask, but I was just like, you know, when did you get over being nervous? When did you stop getting nervous? And he looked at me, he's like, what, are you kidding? I'm always nervous. And he's like, I still am today. The day that you're not nervous is when you need to quit, because that means it doesn't matter to you anymore. And it completely flipped the script for me. And, you know, I was then able to go, okay, this is good. I can channel this into energy because it does matter. And I can put on a great show for people because I care. You know, and that was just life-changing for me. I don't think I'd still be here. I probably would have kind of convinced myself I wasn't cut out for it and just, you know, let him do the sideman thing forever. And, you know, but here I am now because of that. I mean, it's huge.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
I
imagine that the two of you have covered a lot of Sabbath and Ozzy songs over the years. Have you got a favorite?
Man, I mean, I love when we'll break in. Hydrovibe used to cover War Pigs, and that was great. And so, you know, we break into War Pigs in a bridge of a song we just released, you know, which is also a cover of another of Matt's artist friends. It was crazy. But I do love Our Mama, I'm Coming Home.
Mm-hmm.
That one, just because it's on so many different levels. It can mean something to some people, or even me to mean something different to me. Like when we're playing Louisiana and we're doing Mama, I'm Coming Home. It's like, yeah, it's our home state, you know. That one just always hits hard.
Such a gorgeous song.
It's
written
beautiful.
by freaking Lemmy and Ozzy.
Yeah.
Isn't that wild?
Yeah.
Unlikely pairing. I'm trying to write this thing again. Let's see.
An unlikely pairing to write such a beautiful song.
Yeah.
They were an unlikely friendship, but a very strong one and a legendary one.
Yeah.
I don't think I ever hung out with the two of them together. I hung out with Lemmy separate from Ozzy, and he's the character that you think he would be. He was the same guy.
Yeah.
We're what, 10 minutes into the episode, and we've already invoked the names of so many legendary vocalists. We've talked about Ann and Nancy Wilson. We've talked about Ozzy.
Yes.
I want to tip my cap to you, Heather, for just an epic swing and a total home run on the Overthinking album. You cover Bonnie Raitt. You do. I can't make you love me. And just like, you hit it so far out of the park, the ball hasn't landed yet.
Oh, thank you.
That's
Thank
awesome.
you.
Turn down the bed, turn down these voices inside my head. Lay down with me, tell me no lies, just hold me close, don't patronize, don't patronize. Cause I can't make you love me if you don't. You can't make your heart feel something it won't. Here in the dark, in these final hours, I will lay down my heart, and I feel the power. You won't, no, you won't, 'cause I can't make you love me.
That takes a huge amount of confidence to cover a vocalist that epic and a song that emotional. Tell me about that choice.
It's going to be a letdown, the answer. Honestly, we drive. Most of our tours, we're driving across the country. And people ask, like, what do you guys do to kill the time? We sing. And things will come on the radio. And one day it came on and I was like, God, I love this song. And I just started singing it. And Matt was like, we should redo this one. And that honestly was it. And it was just like, how can we bring the sadness and that bittersweet feeling when you think, this person doesn't love me back. And so obviously we succeeded because just by on your reaction. But yeah, that's what we were trying to do. Just love that song so much.
I think she had always loved the song, and I do too as a song. But like in my mind, growing up as a metal kid, I never really gave it a lot of attention because of the production of it is it's in that smooth jazz vein that I just disregarded because I was too cool for school, right?
Right.
But then but she's always loved it, and I knew that, and so I was like, okay, well let me try to work with that, and then when you get into it, it's like, wow, that is a complex song. It sounds super simple. It is not simple. Yeah. So yeah, I really I enjoyed and grew as a musician, just kind of retooling and learning it and retooling it and making it, Dauzat St. mah-ree song.
Man, it is
good
awesome.
Exercise.
It is awesome.
Thank you.
I mentioned your social medias. When you go to your Instagram page, the description of the music, you describe yourselves as arena folk. What is arena folk?
It's a joke. It's a joke because we get to brag now because we just did a whole arena tour with REO Speedwagon and Rick Springfield. So now we're arena folk.
Nice.
There you go.
Yep.
Good for you.
We don't like it's so we're kind of punkish when it comes to the social media because like we're still weird about it. It's kind of awkward sometimes to us. We're trying to get better about that and be more like have more connectivity with the fans. But sometimes you just feel like a jackass when you're holding a phone out,
right?
Like, you're doing this, right? And there's people around watching. It's like it's hard to do, but so that's why we're kind of punky when it comes to that a little bit.
Amazing. I get the feeling on that.
Yeah,
for sure.
We're getting better about it. It makes a difference. Like we try to do a little more. I mean, we're always going to be authentically us. We'll never be doing any TikTok dances. I can promise you that. But we're trying to be a little bit better about like showing more of who we are.
Right.
And the fans seem to like that. Like they're kind of they like us as much as they like our music, and it seems to work. So we're trying to do better.
Yeah. I think we're finding our stride. And it mimics what happens on stage sometimes. So, and if you see our live show, Matt's playing guitar. He's playing percussion, like he's almost got a full drum set for his feet. And he's singing tight harmonies and matching me on everything. And so at some point he's just like, it's Heather, you could contribute a little. So I'm trying to pick up like tambourine and learning the harmonica. But it's nerve-wracking because I've always only ever sung live in front of people. And so there was it was like one of our first shows where I was playing tambourine, and I got so nervous and I picked it up, and he looks at me and he says, accidentally in the mic, "You realize you don't play tambourine on this song, right?" And the whole audience started laughing, but it was a good thing. I mean, it was funny. And I said, "Oh my gosh," to another comparison, it's like Sonny and Cher, and I'm Sonny and he's Cher. And you can make fun of me all you want,
you see this hair, right?
Right, exactly. Yeah. So it just kind of has become our thing, like a little bit of banter on stage, and he'll kind of rag me a little bit or make fun of me. And it's fun, it's all in good fun. But I think that kind of is what we're projecting in our social media as well. Just like silly, but authentically silly.
Yeah.
And usually at my expense, which is fine.
Perfect.
Now, when we talk about covers, you guys do a fair amount. You did Crazy, I Can't Make You Love Me, True Colors, and the Pat Benatar song, We Belong. Are there certain things you look for in a song you want to cover?
Well, the Crazy obviously is due to our involvement with Seal.
Yeah. We'll get to that.
Okay. So we'll wait on that. Pat Benatar. Pat Benatar was the first. So we did We Belong. That was the first cover that we recorded. I don't know exactly why we picked that song, to be honest, but I know we did it very early on, and we did it just to kind of figure out what Dauzat St sounded like. It might have been before we had a lot of our own songs even. I think it was an exercise in production and seeing what Dauzat St might sound like coming from the band world. Now it's just, you got band, you got loud, you've got lights, you got this, and all of a sudden it's two people. Now, what does that sound like? And that's been quite a bit of a challenge because I produce all the records too. So that's been a little bit of a challenge. And so We Belong was an exercise. And then it just became fortuitous. We never did anything with it until we learned that we got the whole tour with Pat Benatar, that summer tour in 2018. And so we're like, oh, okay, well, now we know what to do with this song. We're going to release it just to announce that tour.
Right.
Yeah. Some of the others, we'll throw in a cover's a really good way for people to gauge if they like you or not. When you're getting new fans, they'll hear our stuff and they respond well. But when they hear the cover, they're like, okay, I get it. I can compare and I know now that I like them. So we'll change it up a lot. And sometimes it's like a dance song from Robin, which is kind of a fun thing to turn into our own thing. And, and again, it's usually making it much sadder and more bittersweet.
We tend to do that.
Yeah. But those usually come from like a playlist where, for me, like Matt said earlier, like he was the purist. If it's not metal, I'm not into it. I was like, if it doesn't sound good when I'm singing it and it doesn't, my vocal range isn't right for it, then I don't really want to, I don't care about hearing it. So usually it's just like a song that I like to sing and he'll hear me or I'll say, hey, check this one out. And he's like, let's do it.
It's fun. It's a fun exercise. Coming from the South, you had to sneak your originals in between covers. That's just how it goes in the South. So that's where we came up. And so we never wanted to be a cover band. Not that there's anything wrong with that. There's plenty of great cover bands, but we want to make it sound like us. That's always the challenge. And the fun part is now we're going to make, Pat Benatar songs sound just like Dauzat St. And so, so it's more, in our mind, it's a little bit more of a remake than a cover. But yeah, sometimes we'll do something a little closer. I think True Colors was a little closer. Yeah. We just did that for a performance video. Yeah. We didn't release that. I think those are just for like YouTube performance videos, just to have some more content up there and show people what we do, what we sound like.
Yeah.
I asked about the romantic relationship because I do think when you are the author of the lyrics, when you're writing, there is something about writing from the heart about topics about the heart. Heather, I have lived through a very close relationship. My mother, some other family members, gone through a lot of cancer in my life, and I've seen firsthand how that can influence a person and how that can influence the people that love that person.
Right.
You've been, really brave about being public facing with your overcoming cancer and going through the treatments and everything. Tell me about how going through cancer treatments and surviving cancer influenced you as a writer, as a lyricist.
Oh, I think 100% across the board, it's made me fearless. Whereas I might be like hesitant and doubting, maybe I shouldn't do this, or maybe I shouldn't write about this. And now I'm just kind of like, well, if that's what I'm hearing, I'm going to just do it. Let's just put it out there. Because, when you are faced with, I don't know how many tomorrows I'm going to have, all of a sudden everything becomes more precious. And at the same time, life becomes less precious in a weird way. Like as far as worrying what people think or worrying about where you're at in life, now I'm like, today is the day. And you just kind of have to live in the moment, as cliche as people always say that, but it's so true. You don't worry about, well, I used to think, well, gosh, what if that was it? What if that was the biggest thing we ever did? Or what if we don't get to do this or that? And now I'm like, who cares? Right here, I'm doing this interview and it's awesome. And that's all that matters. And so I think with the lyrics too, I'm not afraid to dig deep. And, we write together. And I think Matt has also, gone through all of that with me. And it's the same thing, like Little Warrior, we haven't recorded yet. And there are a select few people that have heard it live in right situations. And he wrote that for me. And it's one of the most beautiful songs. And I don't think he probably would have ever written that had it not been for that whole cancer journey.
Wow.
We try to get the good out of anything, any bad situation we can. Eternal optimism.
Yeah.
They call it toxic positivity these days, I hear.
Oh, dude. Got a name for everything.
Yeah.
That's us.
Look around, you see the seasons are changing. Times are tough in these times that we're facing. I know at times it can feel like you're fighting alone, but I'll be here by your side on the front lines till it's done. We're ready together.
The song "In It Together" is extremely powerful song, and an equally powerful video. I have a question about that video.
Okay.
There is an image, and it pops up a number of times. It's the number 8 with a vertical line through it.
Yeah.
Can you help me understand what that means? Because I couldn't. I spiraled on that.
Okay. So when we first started going to see like oncologists and everything, what was shocking to me was that they said that the statistic at that time was that 1 in 8 women in America would be diagnosed with cancer, breast cancer. And that was just like mind-boggling to me. And sadly, I think it's 1 in 7 now, maybe.
Wow.
But, I thought the symbol I painted, it's kind of like the infinity symbol, meaning like we keep going. And, I think all of us have had family members who have gone through cancer. I don't think there's anyone that hasn't been touched, and both of my grandmothers had it. I've had aunts, I've had cousins. And so to me, that kind of meant that the storyline just kept going, and and in a positive way, my grandmother's strength helped me to get through it. And my strength, I was hoping, was going to help others get through it. But symbolically, it also meant that 1 in 8. But then also symbolically, it was like slash through that, meaning let's break this cycle, because a lot of the money we raised went towards research. And people it's an abstract thought of like, well, why would I donate to research? But all of my life, I've donated to American Cancer Society in my grandmother's name, in her honor. And then I found out when we started partnering with American Cancer Society that that money was used, along with everyone else's, for research that funded and created a medication that I was on that actually helped save my life.
Oh, wow.
So it kind of comes full circle, right? And so for me, it's like that slash through it is like, we're going to, hopefully all this research will break this so that we can find some real cures for cancer.
Awesome. Thank you for the explanation. Yeah.
Thank you. And I'm so sorry about your family. It's a tough one. Like I said, we all go through it, but hopefully together, we'll get through it and we're stronger.
Yeah, it's tough.
Yeah, it is.
And very difficult to put into words. So I certainly applaud people that are able to capture even a fraction of the journey and the emotion in the written word, and in particular in song. Really, really challenging to do.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Well, thank you very much.
Well, let's talk about Seal.
Let's go.
How the heck do you get to be the guitar player performing on stage with Seal?
Wild, right?
Yeah.
So, Seal is that guy gets on YouTube and he goes down rabbit holes like crazy. He gets interested in something, and so he had his 30th anniversary world tour coming up, and wanted to. It's celebrating the first 2 albums, those big 2 albums, and so he wanted to get a band that could perform these songs perfectly like the record and sing all the parts. There's a lot of vocal parts going on. And so he needed a guitar player that could sing and play harmonies. Going down YouTube, finds Dauzat St videos, probably the same videos you guys saw. And literally FaceTime calls me out of the blue. And I heard from his manager. He said, heads up, Seal's about to call you in 10 minutes. I'm like, okay. And first thing is I texted Heather, because, we already discussed she's Cajun, she's loud. She'll come in the house just like, you never guess what happened, whatever, just screaming something, right?
Right.
It's always something. And so I was like, don't come in here with that. I'm going to be on a FaceTime with Seal. And then she knows, like our life, honestly, we say it often, our life is crazy. So like when I say something like that, she does. She's like, okay,
I was like, oh, okay.
Okay.
Just don't make sure you don't point the camera towards the front door so I can sneak in.
Yeah, she's like,
sweatpants.
I'm wearing sweats. Don't let him see me. Yeah, I was probably in my sweats. So like, hurry up and change clothes to try to look presentable. And he calls me, and we hit it off immediately. Just started talking about music, and we probably had a 30-minute conversation. He asked if I would be interested in joining his band, and I was like, of course. And so that was for that 30th anniversary world tour, which I think at that time I had maybe 2.5 or 3 months before to get ready for it, to start learning the songs. It was 2 records worth of songs, very detailed guitar parts, very detailed, and a lot of guitar tones. So anyway, I dove in and started doing my homework, and then I get a notification. I don't know, from him or his manager. It's like, oh yeah, by the way, we got these shows in the Middle East coming up in 2 weeks. But here's the set list. It's not what I'm going. It's a different set list.
Oh no.
Yeah. So he had done, I had no idea. He did a jazz standards record, and in the Middle East, that's what they were requesting most of those songs. So like, I'd say like 70% of the set was like these jazz standards. Well, like, I mean, you ever seen a jazz guitarist, young jazz guitarist look like me? No, I don't play jazz. Like, I don't know these jazz chords, you know, and I don't know how to read music either. So I'm like, okay, now I'm in trouble. I only had 2 weeks to learn all this to be ready for these shows. And so, yeah, I was playing like 11, 12 hours a day. Heather's like shoving meals in my face. Here, eat this. And I'm just like trying to figure all this stuff out. Got it done. I didn't actually meet Seal in person until we're about to go on in this show in the middle of the desert in Al Ula, Saudi Arabia, this massive venue, beautiful. And we're about to go on stage to play this huge thing. And that's when I met Seal. It's like, hey, you know, you ready for this? I'm like, I hope so. I don't know. We'll find out in a minute. And did the show. It was awesome. And we did several in the Middle East, and then they shipped me to London to work with Trevor Horn. He's a famous producer that did those records. And so I went to Trevor's house to get started on that. And he invited me to be in his band, the Buggles, which we were the openers on the Seal 30th anniversary tour. And anybody who doesn't know the Buggles, they were the first music video on MTV, Video Killed the Radio Star. But Trevor also, he's just like a famous producer. So he did Frankie Goes to Hollywood, a lot of big 80s stuff. He was credited as kind of like the creator of the sound of the 80s. But he was also the singer for Yes right after the Buggles. He quit the Buggles, and he and Jeff Downs were the duo that were the Buggles, and they quit to join Yes. So anyway, so I had to learn Yes songs, Frankie Goes Hollywood, Buggles, Seal. So I worked with Trevor at his place on all that, which was really cool because so I got to check out all the multi-tracks of all those records. So he got like to do this, he got like all the they did records back on tape, and so he got it from tape, put it on Pro Tools, and so I got to listen to like everything that's going on in those records, which is really cool. And anyway, so worked with Trevor, then came to LA, worked with the whole band here, and we launched out and did the world tour, which she joined later. So later in the tour, he invited her to join the band as a backing vocalist as well. So we got to be in a band together.
That was fun. Which
is the first time we've ever been in a band together that we weren't like in charge of. We were just kind of hired guns, and that was pretty cool.
It was awesome.
It's a different experience.
Yeah.
You just go in and, play do your thing and not have to be responsible for, trying to threaten the promoter at the end of the night to get your money. I don't know.
Oh man. And catering's probably way better.
Oh man, this catering is good.
That's amazing, man.
We do it for the catering. We're Southern folk. We'll do it for the catering.
Duly noted.
As someone from Alabama, I know
that was my first tour with Kelly Osbourne. We did the Robbie Williams thing, which nobody knows who he is here, but like he's massive over there. No show was less than 75,000 people. And we rolled with catering. They had like a whole catering spread. And that was the first thing I told Heather. I was like, you wouldn't believe it. We have catering.
Fresh juices.
Yeah. I'm easy to please. If I have my fresh juice, I feel like that's super fancy.
I love that.
I haven't changed one bit. Don't get excited about fresh juice.
Me too. Who doesn't?
Got to keep it healthy.
On what a wonderful varied Rolodex you have. You've got you've got Seal on the one hand, you've got Rick Springfield on the other, you've got Kelly Osbourne. Tell me about Nothing Left to Lose and having members of Korn and Corey Taylor's band play. I mean, like we're running the whole gambit here.
Right?
When you say it, it sounds ridiculous.
I come to you disarmed, so confused, so alone, but I come to you reborn. Now I'm free from all the chains that held me down before, with nothing left to lose.
Oh man.
Oh,
I think these are all just like characters we pick up along the way. Let's see, so Ray from Korn, so there's a lot of these things are like full circle moments. Ray from Korn came into the picture because we're always like we're always down to help other artists, musicians, artists, whatever. Like, so we're kind of known for being good facilitators and advocates and just helping people. So somehow I think it was a fan of ours. It was in France, and it was a fan of Hydrovibe way back in the day. And I think he may have interviewed us.
he did an interview.
He did an interview
Yeah.
with us way back in the day for one of the music magazines.
Yeah.
He was a contributor, but he also ran a fan site for Korn. I don't know. I think it was probably unofficial at the time.
I think so.
He's just like, that's his favorite band in the world. And he was wanting to move to Los Angeles. And so we were kind of helping him out with maybe, finding apartments. There were some other people from France. We were helping them all like find lodging, maybe get some connections with venues or whatever it was we could do to help. And so he moved over, and was kind of looking for work. At the time, I was playing Ibanez acoustic guitars for Hydrovibe. I was sponsored with Ibanez. And I remember Korn is his favorite band in the world, and they were Ibanez guitars. So in my mind, let's just somehow make those worlds collide. Maybe I can at least open a little bit, crack the door a little bit. So I was like, hey, come take a photo, because Ibanez needed a photo of me for their magazine. And I was like, come do my photo. We'll get that into Ibanez, get you credited and try to link up somehow. I don't know how these things work, but at least I can do that. And I'm not saying that that's what caused this to happen, but things started happening for him, and he ended up quickly getting his dream gig, which was the photographer, videographer for Korn. And so they picked him up and they brought him out on the road, and, still a kid, that's his favorite band in the world. And so he was the exclusive videographer. So he followed him, got all like a lot of footage that you see, that's him. And, and he had been so busy with Korn for years. We didn't see him much. We keep in touch, and then we're busy, but we finally reconnected, when, we were both kind of like off the road for a minute. And he ended up turning Ray on to dō-zaht St. mah-ree. And I was just like, well, hey, we're doing this song. Maybe we could get Ray. Maybe he wants to play drums. So we collaborated with Ray on that. He did the drums out in his studio in Nashville. Then, the bass player in there, Elliot, is he plays for Jerry Cantrell and Corey Taylor, but he's our original bass player, Hydrovibes.
Hydrovibes.
Oh, no kidding. Okay.
Yeah.
We found him when he was, and to go back, remember the guy that put the Kelly Osbourne band together? We had him put Hydrovibe together.
He gave us
after
like
that.
a list of bass players
Yeah.
in Los Angeles, and we auditioned all of them.
I
And
mean,
then found our guy.
a year. We did a year of auditions for bass
Heavy
players. We're
auditions.
Whoa.
super picky. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
And we found Elliot. He was just a kid at MI, Musicians Institute. I mean, that was like our real only hesitation. He was just so young. I was like, I don't want to be babysitting on the road, you know, but he was really good. He kind of got it, and just he was the right fit. And so we toured with him for years, and you know, he kind of branched out, and he is now with Jerry. I think he's on tour with Jerry right now.
Yeah. He's doing great.
And we
I tell you what,
have other connections with Jerry too. There's other stories.
We need to write a book.
There's
with it, 'cause
branches
it
to this
doesn't-
story. Yeah, because that was our first time meeting Jerry Cantrell was
Frisbee golf.
we played went and played
No.
frisbee golf with Jerry Cantrell. Yeah.
the two of you are incredibly valuable to know if you're playing the 6 Degrees of Kevin Bacon game.
Right?
Yeah.
I
You
know.
know, how do you get from Rick Springfield to Slipknot? I got the answer.
Yeah.
Dauzat St. It's
Yeah.
like I swear we're a conduit. We're a
Yeah.
conduit for some of these things, but happy to be that, right? Like a lot of people can get like bitter about those things. We're happy to do that and see friends succeed, and everybody's got different trajectories, right? I mean, there's no two like trajectories in this
Right.
business. It's, you know, it's a unique business, and everybody kind of climbs at the rate they're going to climb.
A friend of the show, Kimball Walters, whose band
Yeah.
Aegis is fantastic, bass player for Chevelle, and we asked him how did you get the Chevelle gig, and he said, I think it's because the hangs were good.
Yep.
Yeah.
So Kimball, the bass player for his band, Phil Buckman, was also one of the Hydrovibe bass player.
Get out of here.
Yeah. And Phil played for Filter.
Yeah.
And he was also the voice of the Carl's Jr. commercials. I don't know if you knew that.
Yeah.
I did not.
But you may not. So you're in Alabama. You wouldn't have had
West Coast.
neither of y'all. So
Yeah.
West Coast.
I'm familiar. I lived in California for a while, so I know
that-
Carl's
yeah.
Jr. Yeah.
Knew
Yep.
at Carl's Jr. That was
Phil.
Phil.
Yeah.
So he does a lot of voiceover. He would just like pull over in the vehicle and do his voiceover and collect big checks and then continue on making zero money on tour, I'm sure.
I need to get into voiceover work, Keith.
Voiceover's
Yeah.
huge.
Yeah.
It is huge money, and it's great. It's hard to get into though.
Yeah.
Very
I
hard.
like I like cartoons.
Yep. That's a prerequisite, I guess.
I could do cartoon voiceover.
Yeah, you could.
Um,
Oh, so
What's next?
this the last link on Nothing Left to Lose. It was a guitar player for Kesha, but we've known him. So he was maybe one of the first people. I met him when I was out here doing that Limp Bizkit audition long before. He ended up playing with Limp Bizkit a little bit. He didn't take the gig, but yeah, I met him not through that. It was actually through another mutual friend that had a rehearsal studio in the a complex that had all rehearsal studios. That's where we're broadcasting right this minute. Is that very complex? And so that's how we knew Nick Annis. But we've just kept in touch and we work together frequently. But yeah, he's Kesha's guy, so he's out with Kesha right now.
so
Real.
you've had the opportunity to be on stage with so many wonderfully talented people. What's next for the two of you? What are some goals and aspirations in terms of people you might like to work with?
Nobody, stay off my stage. I don't know. We actually are playing. So we've never. So we did a little full band thing one time at in Hollywood. We played, and that was with Elliot, the bass player we were talking about, and our other drummer Phil. They came in and sat in on some dō-zaht St songs. We are we're headed to West Virginia next week, I think, and we're going to play with a band on at a festival, Live Free Fest, on the 23rd. So that'll be kind of a first for us. It's local band, and so we're a little nervous about that, but I'm sure it will be great. But yeah, we don't know. I mean, as far as that goes, like band, we don't really think that much in terms of band. I think one of our goals would be like orchestration. Like if we could have the full on strings and every like orchestra
That would be
show, that would be an absolute dream.
Yeah. As far as touring, I'll open for anybody who can take me around the world with catering.
Catering. And Cajun girls, right?
That's right.
Catering.
I tell you what, I want to compliment both of you on your hat game. It's
right.
As I went through all of your videos, I was like, man, he is sporting a very high fashion bowler here. And then I was like, wait, no, now he's got a fedora. Now it's, I mean, like the hat game is 10 out of 10.
There's a
for
reason
the both
for it.
of you. For
me, is a reason for it. So, if you see like, any of the like Hydrovibe stuff, I never would wear a hat, because long hair, it is a pain. And so if you're playing guitar and you go to sing, you take a big gulp of air and you suck in some hair, and now you have to play and you have to sing and you got hair down your throat and there's not a single thing you could do about it, or else you're going to have a pause in the guitar. So it's an absolute nightmare, and it's happened a couple of times. So I wear a hat to keep this stuff out of my face. But like in Hydrovibe or whatever, I could just do hair windmills and that's never a problem, right? You can always like fling hair, but that looks kind of weird at an acoustic sort of show. So hat is the viable alternative to that.
Yep.
Plus, it became a thing.
Right.
And I like it.
How many hats do you have?
Too many. And honestly, we've only purchased maybe 3. For some reason, all like years and years and years, people would just say like, here's a hat. I thought you might want it. And so like we have all these hats that mostly people have given us.
This is for this kind of hat, this is my 3rd, because I was on the SEAL tour and I lost my hat in Turkey. And so I was flying to Manchester from Turkey, I think, and Heather's buying a hat, and we didn't know we got the wrong size. And so I was having the wardrobe girl try to like resize it for those shows. And then we bought another. So this is my 3rd one of these, unfortunately, because they're kind of expensive. But I know it's a 4th because I do have a black one.
Yeah, you do.
Just for an option. So I have one that doesn't fit me. So if anybody's got a smaller head than I do, I've got
There you go.
Outstanding.
Yeah. Ridiculous stuff that happens on tour.
Yeah.
I have a question for you.
Sounds good though, right? I left my hat in Turkey. It's like, all right.
That's a great fucking story. It sounds amazing.
I just always imagine there's some guy in Turkey walking around with that hat on,
Jerk.
Jerk.
I was on the SEAL tour and I lost my hat in Turkey. It's like not too many people can say that.
No.
There is a cinematic quality to your sound that I found. It's very big and expansive, and I'm wondering if visuals play a role in your composition. Do you think visually as you're writing?
Absolutely. Mm-hmm. And that's very, very perceptive.
Yeah.
And accurate. Yeah, we do. Like usually when we're like writing and we're like testing it out, both of us are like seeing a music video in our head and like, oh, this moment or that moment. And again, going back to the fact that I'm Cajun and he's been with a Cajun for so long, we're very dramatic. So, yeah.
She ain't lying. She said it, not me. So
I know I am. I mean, look, I was in 3rd grade and I think I skipped breakfast and skipped lunch. And I went to the nurses and I called my dad and was like, oh my God, I'm dying. He's like, you're dying? Yes, I am dying. I'm passing out. I'm dying. You have to come get me. And he came and got me. They gave me a snack. I'm like, oh, I'm better now. Very dramatic.
Nice. Nice.
But yeah, we definitely love, I always say on stage, like, life is a roller coaster. It's a lot of really high highs, a lot of low lows. And I think our set is a roller coaster of emotions. And I think within each song, we try to have those moments, and those turnarounds. Yeah, very dramatic.
I uplift and celebrate all of the music. I only have one criticism, and that is every time I look at tour dates, we're doing Louisiana, we're playing Florida, we're playing Georgia, we're playing everywhere but Alabama.
I know it. I know it. We're trying to figure that out.
What do we got to do to fix this, folks?
Well, I think if you just let us know what the venue would be, a small venue there in Birmingham, we'd love to come play.
Yeah.
I will give you a list.
Yeah, I mean, we will certainly work that in. I don't know. I guess have we ever played Alabama? Not as dō-zaht St.
Well, we started Mobile.
Oh, that's right. Mobile's
Mobile, but not anywhere else. So
we do have a Mobile show coming up.
Yeah.
Yes.
But we don't have a Birmingham.
Not yet.
Now, you guys are how far north of Mobile? Pretty far.
3 hours. 3 4 hours. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
We got to get on that.
Okay. Well,
I'll send you a list of the rooms, and I'll even give you some local bands to partner with to get that local draw. And
fantastic. Yeah,
that would be great. Yeah, I mean, a lot of times people, see, we're doing like, the Pat Benatar tours, the REO, Speedwagon tours, and they think like surely you're doing big rooms. We're not really there. We're like, we're playing like small theaters, and listening rooms are great. That's been our new thing. Is the listening room venues are starting to pop up around the country, and those are awesome. Usually, like 75 or 100. Ticket prices are usually quite a bit higher to so it makes sense. But it's not a bar. I mean, people are like they're sat. They might have their drinks or whatever, but they're there to listen to the music, and they want to hear the stories and get that intimate experience. And so, we love the arena tours where 6,000 people and it's loud and crazy, and we do our thing. We do a different show, but in the listening room, it's a completely different dō-zaht St. You're going to get we tailor to that room. I say we kind of shine. We shine in both, but like the listening rooms it's a magical experience. Yeah, I think for everybody involved.
We are right at an hour, so I don't want to bogart any more of your time.
I hate to bring sideways on you the whole time.
I know.
It's funny, like this whole time I've been talking to you guys, I find myself doing this.
Yeah. See, I'm not even looking at us. I'm looking at them.
Yeah.
That's unfortunate.
What are you accusing me of? Vanity? I feel sideways. I keep wanting to leave. I'm not trying to correct this way, unfortunately. I'm like, I've been going with it, like leaning. It's weird.
That's funny.
I guess we did
but
not.
The hats are staying on.
We did not have our V8s today.
No.
This was super fun. Thank you.
Great.
Likewise. Yeah. Thank you guys so much.
Thank you very much. I really appreciate the time.
Sure. Well, let's do it again sometime soon. We've only scratched the surface on stories, I promise you.
I know.
And they're all can't even imagine. Can't even imagine. Yeah, we will do it again. That sounds like a great plan.
Next time we'll figure out why. So maybe this is an iPad thing while we're
Well, we're going to get the app. You mentioned, Jeff, the app. Yeah.
Okay.
Next time we'll have the app, and it'll be better.
Sounds good.
Awesome.
Okay.
Heather, Matt, thank you so much.
Y'all have a great weekend.
Yeah.
You too, Matt.
Take
care.
All right.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Many thanks to Heather and Matt for sharing their time and their story with us.
This episode of Centre Stage was written and produced by Keith R. Higgins and Jeff Calhoun. The show was recorded at Thunderlove Studio, where it was engineered by
Daphne Morris,
with help from
Penetration,
edited by
Vic Titball,
with help from
Clem Fandango.
Our theme song is Cynical by Jaguar on Mars. You can stream Jaguar on Mars wherever you stream your favorite music. The songs you heard during this podcast were Crazy, Common Ground, I Can't Make You Love Me, In It Together, and lastly you heard Nothing Left to Lose. Check out the show notes for links to the band's Bandcamp page and their website. Please remember to support independent music.
original music by Mike Pellegrino.
If you like what you've heard, please remember to subscribe and leave us a rating. It helps other people find the podcast. Thanks for listening.
Grazie.
Bailey Leaf,
Rob Janicki. Mike Pellegrino. Farina Bella.
S.W. Loudon.
Michael Janicki. Peyton Janicki.
This show's executive producer is Lulu McGillicuddy and is in the loving memory of
Lucas Thundolo.
And now, until we meet again next time, I remain as always obediently yours.
Abandoned Albums is a production of Paw Print Media.